Well, good afternoon. I guess almost evening. We're glad you're here. My name is Roger Ballard, CEO for Nuvision Credit Union, and I'm pleased to welcome you to our annual meeting, really your annual meeting, and our 90th anniversary annual meeting. So we're really excited to be celebrating all year long. I wanted to cover a few housekeeping topics before we get started. This meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be made available. We do have some remote participants, but the participants will be muted during the session, but they will be able to participate in the Q&A portion of the meeting. After the business meeting, we'll be adjourning the business meeting, and then we'll have a Q&A session. And so, in fact, I'll remind you how you can submit questions as part of the Zoom, basically using the little Q&A icon on the Zoom screen, and you can use it, I believe, throughout the meeting starting now. But you can also, wait until the end if you'd like to. So I'll be back with you to remind you of how that all works. And then I also want to call out our parliamentarian for this annual meeting is Attorney Tim Oplett, who's with us. Tim is right here, so thank you, Tim, for joining us. He'll be assisting with any procedural questions. And I think that's all I wanted to cover, except welcome. We're glad you're participating in your annual meeting, and it's my pleasure to welcome our board chair, Ted Humphrey.
Thank you, Roger. We are calling this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise, face the flag, hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now determine whether or not we have a quorum.
Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Being that we have a quorum, we'll begin with the meeting, and we'll go over the agenda. We will approve the 2024 annual meeting minutes. We will have the chairman's report, the treasurer's report, the CEO's report, supervisory committee report, old and new business, the nominating committee report, adjournment, and after the meeting adjourns, there will be an opportunity for questions and answers. I will begin with asking on the 89th annual meeting minutes. Copies of the minutes have been provided to the attendees. I am going to recommend a motion to waive the reading of the 89th meeting minutes. That is from Haiku Lee, a motion to waive the reading.
I'll second that motion.
Jim Meyer seconds it. Another recommended motion. Okay. Do we have a vote? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. The motion carries. We have a recommended motion to approve the 89th annual meeting minutes as presented.
Move to approve the 89th.
That's Hickey and Cullum. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain. The motion carries. I would like to introduce the board of directors. I have been serving as the chair. We have Sonia Stroda, Michael Donahue, and Jim Meyer on our executive committee, John Cullum, Brian Hickey, Haiku Lee, Yuri Nakagawa, and Matt Woodruff. Those have been your board during this past year. We also have two who have been serving in the capacity of former board officials, and that is Robert Gerasi and Bill Murray. I would also like to introduce the Supervisory Committee, Doug Haig, Chair of the Supervisory Committee, Karen Sudica, and Matt Woodruff. Now, there's going to be a theme throughout that this has been our 90th anniversary as being your credit union. And we proudly represent the interests of all of our members around the country, including but not limited to Alaska, Arizona, California, Washington, and Wyoming. It is our job to make sure Nuvision Credit Union remains financially sound and a thriving organization that has a clear direction and a path for continued success. And we are here to ensure Nuvision is best serving your specific financial needs now and in the future for the life you build. At this point, I would like to introduce the Treasurer and the Treasurer's report. That's Michael Donahue, Board Treasurer.
Thank you, Ted. For 2004, our assets grew to more than $3.3 billion, and our loans increased to nearly $2.7 billion. And that's the highlights of my report. And I'd also like to mention in 2005, we're approaching assets of $4 billion. Thank you. And it's my pleasure right now to introduce our CEO, Roger Ballard.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. Again, thanks for joining your annual meeting. The CEO report is going to cover a number of topics, and just some of the highlights is, as our chairman mentioned, continuing the celebration of our 90 years as a credit union. I want to talk some about the expansion that we accomplished during 2024, highlight our results and our continued work to improve on member experience. And I'm really proud to be sharing some of the work we've been doing in the community. And then lastly, it is September of 2025, and so we've got some insights we can share around 2025, where we are, and what's coming even toward the end of this year. So first off, it is celebrating 90 years, and it's really exciting. We started off serving Nuvision was serving the help and helping members build a stronger financial future when we were back serving Douglas Aircraft and serving those who helped launch the aviation industry and build vibrant communities across Southern California. That was our humble beginnings in 1935. And while we began by supporting those who shaped the sky, our skies, our purpose for helping people build the lives they want has grown as Nuvision has grown and has expanded. Today, we proudly serve a diverse and expanding membership made up of individuals, families, small businesses, and communities across the West, standing beside them through life's milestones and moments, generation after generation. 9 decades and counting that we've been serving our members. 9 decades and counting that we've received the support from our members who are also our owners. Through changing times, we've remained focused on what matters most, protecting our members' savings, being strong and secure, offering smart lending solutions, and providing the trusted partnership that our members expect for the major milestones in life. It might be first home, first car, paying for college, or enjoying a well-earned retirement, and all those major life stages. Nuvision is here for our members. And as we celebrate our 90th anniversary, our journey continues stronger than ever, serving members and communities. We're now serving members all the way from San Diego to the Bay Area in California, as well as members in Alaska, Washington, Arizona, and Wyoming. In fact, as of 2025, we're serving well over 200,000 members in those states and even beyond. That's just where we have locations today. So no matter where we grow, our values have remained unchanged since 1935. And we're honored to support the life you build with care, compassion, and commitment to your success. So we're really excited again to say thank you to our members for our opportunity to celebrate 90 years, and we're looking forward to continue to build for our future. Now, in my report, I'll be talking about a lot of things we've accomplished for 2025 and some, 2024 and some in 2025, and some other actions we've taken to improve member experience. And that can only be done with a lot of great leadership and teamwork. At Nuvision, we have around 600 team members right now, and they are led by some great executive leaders and then leaders who work for them. So I just wanted to briefly acknowledge and thank, because the results I report are a reflection of them and their teams, not just myself and the board. It's a big team effort. So I wanted to briefly introduce, and I won't be on camera for those of you just couldn't make the logistics work, but you see their pictures, and they are in the room, so they could raise their hand or stand. I'll defer to them. First up, Kathy Dominguez is our Chief Experience Officer, basically over all things branch, member-facing branches, contact center, and marketing, and so much more. Brian Hirschfield is our Chief Financial Officer in the front row there. Lily Lee is our Chief Credit Officer. Tammy Ortega is our Chief People Officer, and Pedro Quintanilla is our Chief Risk Officer. So thank you all for your dedicated support. So because of that dedicated support, we've been able to accomplish a lot this in 2024 and beyond. We added 4 new branches in California. We relocated our Mesa Boeing on-site branch. And I say that for those who may not know, and many of you may not, we've actually been on-site. Our original families I mentioned was serving Douglas aircraft. We all know that kind of evolved over time to being part of Boeing. And in Mesa, Arizona, they've had a plant building Apache helicopters, and they've expanded to do so much more there over the years. We've been there for over 30 years. So during 2024, it's a small location, only a couple people, but been doing some great service to our members. I don't know, there's between, last time I checked, and I haven't got a recent number, but there's between 4,000 and 5,000 Boeing employees in that site last time I got an update. So Boeing, we've had such a great partnership. They invited us to move from kind of an outbuilding, you might say, still on campus, but outbuilding, right to a larger premier location right next to the cafeteria, which we all know, at least I'm always interested in where the cafeteria is, where the food is, anywhere I'm at. So that's really a great location to be at in our experience, and we have quite a larger, really full-service office that we can offer our members there at Boeing. Additionally, we broke ground. We have so on that Boeing plant location, you have to be an employee. It's quite a secure facility. I've got to do quite a bit to arrange to even visit the team there. And so one of the things our members have been asking for many years, because like family members of employees, Boeing employees and such, and some of our members also from Alaska, who we did a partnership in Alaska in 2018, we found they spend some winters in the Arizona area. So we've had interest in a public branch. So we broke ground on a brand new branch. We call it Mesa Longbow. It's not too far from the Boeing campus in a nice retail location. It's a beautiful branch. And so we broke ground on that last year, brand new construction, and I'll say more about that a little bit later in my 2025 update. We also had a couple grand openings of branches. The Long Beach branch, we did a grand opening, and also we did a new branch, freestanding branch in Fairbanks, Alaska. And we started a relocation, the work to relocate an office in Abbott, which is in Anchorage, Alaska. As our treasurer, Michael Donahue shared, we ended 2024 with $3.3 billion in assets, $2.7 billion in loans, and we're serving just under 178,000 members at the end of 2024. I think the thing that we're particularly proud of, and something that's important to all of us here at Nuvision, is we're safe, we're strong, and secure for our members, and committed to keeping our members, owners informed and protected. So we're just really confident in our future, and we've got a strong financial footing. Beyond, when we talk about results, we're a credit union. We're technically a not-for-profit, although we need to have earnings to grow our capital. But for us, results are very much also around what are we doing to serve members and provide them with the best member experience that we can. So every single year we have opportunities. We have things we want to do more for members. Some of it's based on member feedback. They've asked for things. Some of the things that we've seen others in the industry do that we think our members can benefit from. So we're always looking for opportunities. Where can we enhance the member experience or products for our members. So just some highlights that we have here. This in 2024, when it comes to checking accounts, we expanded checking products to all markets. When I say markets, we have different states we're in, and there's some complexities to offer them everywhere versus, say, only one market. So historically, we hadn't offered our simple checking and simple free checking in all markets. In 2024, we accomplished that. We expanded to all markets. So that was something all members can benefit from. Furthermore, we have an outstanding Visa signature card. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to. It's got a great cashback feature, competitive rate, and previously was only available in California and Arizona and Wyoming. And this last year, we were able to expand it, and it's now offered in all of our markets that we serve. We also deployed contactless cards, and that's where you can, tap to pay on your debit and credit cards. And in our branches, we can instant issue a debit card, and we upgraded that technology as well because it required an upgrade so that we could instant issue. So that means you could walk in a branch and either as a new member or a new checking account holder, or maybe you lost your card, and we can, in essence, manufacture you a card and hand it to you that you have to use for the weekend or whenever you need it, and that includes the tap to pay technology. So that's important because cards break, cards get lost, things like that. That's something we've seen from a member experience standpoint to be an important capability to be able to issue member cards on the spot. Furthermore, we increased in 2024 for some of our direct deposits. So some technicalities, we have to receive it early enough, such as some of the government deposits, might be Social Security as an example. We were able to offer that 2 days earlier than we were able to prior. So that was an exciting capability. And we, as noted earlier, we continue to invest in our branch offices. Some of our members, we know what we focus on is trying to offer services and ways to access our services that work for our members. And with over 200,000 members, we had a lot of different preferences. So we know some of our members prefer to only come in an office. Others don't want to come into an office at all. They only want to use their phones. And then others, it just depends on what they want to do. They want to use the phone or mobile app for some things and the branch for others. So we continue to invest in our branch network and our branch capabilities for member experience. Our phone capabilities, I'll highlight more in terms of like when you call us, and our digital capabilities. And that's what the subject is of my next slide. During 2024, we were able to make a number of improvements. One of those being card management improvements within our digital banking capabilities, whether you're browser-based or using the app on your phone or tablet. We were able to, we used to have kind of two separate apps, and we've been working more to integrate more into, say, our mobile banking app, the primary one that most of our members take advantage of, so they don't have to go to a separate app. So we're making some really good progress this last year. For example, members can now enable or disable your cards within the mobile banking app. You can report it as lost or stolen in the mobile banking app. You can set card controls and even alerts, all within the same mobile banking app or the desktop browser. You can also, we've had a lot of members, we've been working on this for years. A big theme here is how do we make it easy and fast to do business with the credit union. And so, and a big part of that has been around the digital, but it's really across the organization. We want to make it easy to do business with us. Easy to say, not always easy to do, but we've made progress. Some of the progress that we've made is in the area of allowing members to open up new deposit accounts within digital banking or the digital channel, if you will. And we've made a number of different enhancements. And this last year, we opened almost a third of all deposit accounts were open online. So we know our members are demanding, and there's some we know won't even do business with us unless we offer these capabilities. And again, there's some of our members who would never open up account online. So it's trying to offer something for everyone. And the members really took advantage of this online account opening capabilities. In fact, we had an 89% increase from the prior year. So it's really, I always look at when you offer a capability and then you see how many members use it, that's always a good sign if it's a big number. And in fact, we joined 2,600 new members, brand new to Nuvision through this digital account opening capability because we made it easier, and members took advantage of that, and new members took advantage of that. We also made just some continued improvements to making our mobile banking and desktop banking more intuitive, just easier to use. We reprioritized some of the main menu to make it easier. For example, we made it easier to find e-statements. You want to go back and look at one of your electronic statements from a few months ago as an example, we made it easier to find that capability. Because one of the things it's both an opportunity and challenge to offer a lot of capabilities so that members can do what they want to do when they want to do it, say, online, but also make it easy to find it as we expand the capabilities, make it easy to actually go find where it is and then access it. So we continue to strive to optimize that approach. Also on digital banking, one of the things that we added this last year was the ability to enroll in our fantastic loyalty program that we call Added Advantage. I'll say a little bit more about that soon. And that was as you can enroll as part of our digital banking. That wasn't something that we offered previously. We also added the ability within a digital banking to view your credit card rewards. If you have a Nuvision credit card with your points, you can view them right inside the digital banking. That was also new. The other thing that we've done this last year, and we've continued to do it this year, is provide members with educational resources. So really there's two types of free webinars that we provided, free to all members that we've done. One is Nuvision Insights webinars, and the other is economic forecast webinars. So on the Nuvision Insights webinars, we I typically host those, and then we'll have speakers from typically from the credit union, some of our leadership or some subject matter expert. Earlier this year, I think the one that we we usually have some key topics. So I think earlier this year, our Nuvision Insights webinar, we had some of our subject matter expert on our team talk about fraud and the kind of fraud schemes that are going on and how to protect yourself from members, because fraud and the fraudsters out there trying to take advantage of our members and the credit union, it's a big issue. And so we wanted to really educate our members. And we record those too. If you're ever interested, we actually provided links. I believe they're on our website. So I encourage you to take advantage, because we know all members can't attend live. But we think it's we rotate topics. The other series that we do is an economic forecast webinar series, and this is in partnership with Beacon Economics. And basically we have Chris Thornburg, who's an economist. He's very easy to understand, and just love hearing from him. I think he's a great resource for information. What's happening in the economy? No one's ever guaranteed. You don't know what's right, but he provides some great insights from his expert point of view. Again, free to members in these webinars, which gives members insights as to where he sees inflation, where he sees housing, other issues that can affect what I call those kitchen table topics, just your pocketbook groceries and everything else that's important. Should I buy a house or not? Those type questions. And we always have Q&A opportunities as part of these webinars for members, so they can get, if a specific question wasn't answered as part of the standard presentation, you can ask the questions. We do our best to get to those. In fact, next month, October 16th, we have our next economic forecast webinar coming up. So if you're interested, I encourage you to check out the website. I was looking at it earlier today and saw right in the top in the banner of our website is the information, so you can learn more if you're interested in participating. I mentioned earlier our Added Advantage Member Rewards program. We think it's an outstanding program. It's free to join. It's one of the easiest and most rewarding loyalty programs in among financial institutions. And the basic premise is the more banking you do with us, then the more points you get, and the more benefits you get in essence. The points being like a score. And so there's some benefits you can get. Be eligible for, such as discounts on consumer mortgage auto loans, rates, and free Experian identity protection, waivers on some fees like cashier's check fees, and the like. So you also get an opportunity to participate in some of our cash giveaways that we do. In fact, this summer, we did a cash giveaway, and we had great member participation. I think you can even win more if you're following us on social media. We gave away about $22,000 in prize money. So that was really exciting. The other thing about Nuvision is that we really do try to give back to the communities in which we operate in, which we serve. And it's a big part of our purpose. It's a big part when I talk to team members and ask them about what is it they like about Nuvision and the culture. So many times they will note the fact that they love what we're doing in the community because they love to be part of it and participate in giving back. Because at Nuvision, our purpose is we build lives for people, our members, our communities, and our team members. And when it comes to the community, we have, three primary pillars. We probably all know that there's so many needs of the community, that, just there's so many I couldn't even name. So we try to focus and make a difference around three different pillars. One is the frontline responders and, say nurses as examples, and veterans active military. Another is supporting people in need. This might be those who are dealing with food insecurity. It might be with those kids who are going back to school and need boots for the winter, or just a pair of tennis shoes, because they don't have them. They don't have their family doesn't have the resources for them. And then finally, the third pillar being teaching financial responsibility, particularly for youth and youth financial literacy. We think it's really important. Most schools don't have the time to teach very much about personal finance and and topics, and so we try to come along and do what we can to help to help deliver some of that education, at least on a small scale. We're hoping to grow it. So you see a quick snapshot. We and our marketing team and our employees just did such a great job to make this all work, because it's not easy to either sponsor and or participate in more than 65 community events. We had over 500 team members. We've had members participate in some of our activities, 1,200 volunteer hours, and we've given more than $132,000. These are things all from like food and clothing drives, toy drives, serving meals to veterans and active military, cleaning military grave sites, blood drives, and so many more, just as examples. One of the things I wanted to highlight, and it happens to be close to where we are, and is a program we did for the first time. So we've done a number of different programs over the years to support youth financial literacy, basically teaching younger people about personal finance. And so one of the things we did this last year in 2024 is we partnered with Costa Mesa High School. And for those who aren't familiar with Costa Mesa, those particularly online, I'm guessing those in this room know what I'm talking about. It's in Southern California, and it's a high school. And we partnered to provide a program for the 2024 to 2025 school year. And basically how it worked, the Credit Union's monthly How Money Works financial literacy class. It was a class held at the high school, started in September, concluded in May. It was it enrolled 130 students, ranging from freshmen to seniors, and there was a once-a-month class. And so we got a great partner, Lester Barron, who really led. He's a great, very energetic. I've got a short video I'm going to show you here just momentarily. Great, enthusiastic, and expert, and engages the young folks and our great team members who also partner with him and participate. Some of the topics that this course covers includes financial planning, creating savings, investing, building credit, good debt versus bad debt, things like, topics like that. And it really, based on the feedback from the students, and we even had a video contest for the seniors, I believe it were, and they had a prize for them. It was just, I loved hearing the feedback about the program and how well it worked. And we're doing it again this year. And we're hoping to expand this program and maybe programs similar to it in other markets that we're serving. So I'm really excited about this program, and I want to just take a moment to just show you a short video just to highlight a little bit about this program, How Money Works at Costa Mesa High School.
Hello everyone, my name is Lester Barron from How Money Works, and I've been so honored to spend the last 9 months partnering with Nuvision Credit Union to bring financial education to Costa Mesa High School. This has been one of the best journeys of my entire life and career, because I have seen kids transformed completely and entirely in their knowledge and their zeal for financial education. You know, when we walked in the first day, a lot of them were unsure of what they were about to walk into and expect. But as the class progressed, we saw their eyes open and we saw them have aha moments like, my goodness, like this is so simple. You know, I'm glad that I'm being taught this in high school. And the fact is that very few states offer a true full class in financial education. And I'm so grateful that we're able to do that with these kids here at Costa Mesa High. I'm honored to be doing this with Nuvision, where we can teach the next generation how money works.
So we're just really, hope you can tell from my comments how excited we are about this program, and just to help young people get a good start when it comes to personal finance. We are, as I mentioned, in September of 2025. So I want to give you a little bit of insights about what's been happening during 2025. One of the things is we had a merger partner that we welcomed. Legally was done earlier this year, Safe America. So we're welcoming our Safe America members. This is up in the Bay Area. We now have 7 offices up in the Bay Area of California. And that's, that kind of happened really over roughly a 12-month period. And the biggest partner that we had that we actually completed in 2025 was Safe America. They had around, just for perspective, around $500 million in assets, and I think somewhere around 35,000 members ballpark. So we're really excited to welcome them to Nuvision and welcome many of their team members. It's always an opportunity when you have partnerships to bring great talent on, and they've got some great talent. So thus, we have some great talent to continue serving our members. We also made some improvements this year, and so I'm going to cover some things that are new and available right now, and then some things on the next slide that are still coming. So we made some improvements to our small business account opening process. It's something that historically we've been doing small business for a while, but back to making the process easy, making it easy to do business with us. We had some room to go on small business account openings. It took too long for our team and for the members both. So we made some great improvements, some great work by our technology team and small business team to bring on a new technology platform that streamlines the process significantly, and we're really excited about it. We also have been working to make call center improvements. We've had this year higher volumes than we expected in terms of just people calling us. Some of it is from our second largest merger early this year, and some of it is just higher call volumes. People are picking up the phone more often. So we're working to increase our capacity, our number of team members who are dedicated to serving what we call the Member Contact Center, MCC for short. We're currently in training team members and preparing them to support our members. And we're also enhanced our usage of a outsourced call center just so we could have somebody picking up the phone quicker because we don't want the wait times to be as long as they have been at points in this year. So it's an area of opportunity. We're also tracking the reasons people call and really looking for areas where we might be able to, one, educate members about how else they could do the same thing that they're looking for. I'd say loan payments is one of the examples that has come up, that people call to make loans, and there's some self-service options that some members would take advantage. We also think there's some opportunities for us to even make loan payments easier, and that's on the agenda for next year as we do our planning. We've also seen some enhanced calls around fraud. There's a lot of fraudsters out there trying different things, and those calls and those conversations they're more complex, they're more nuanced, and so it takes longer to help members with some of those situations. And we're also working on, we've implemented a new, technology platform for our call center team and give them more tools and more reporting capabilities to help us manage and improve the member experience there. We're also looking forward, I think I have this on another slide. I'll wait. We also have, I mentioned in 2024, trying to delineate between what we did in 2024 and what we did in 2025. 2024, we gave early deposits for eligible items, such as some direct deposit items, such as maybe Social Security in many cases, might be others. It really depends on when we receive the item, electronically. But if we receive it, say, in time, we can give now up to 5 days early access instead of the 2 days we did in 2024. Now it's up to 5 days. So it's not on everything, but it's on some deposits, and our members have really appreciated the opportunity to have access to their funds earlier when they can. And we've also continued to make new improvements in our self-service. That's what members might be able to do, on their own if they're interested through digital banking. We improved, for example, we added digital banking tutorials. We improved the travel and the purchase notification. Let's say it's a larger purchase. You can actually, or you're traveling, say, I don't know, you're going out of the country, going to Europe, you can actually tell us within our app, that you're doing that so that we know and your transaction can get approved. Because, for example, a lot of fraud actually happens internationally. So if you tell us, I'm going to Paris for these dates, and then I'm going somewhere else, and you can tell us through that app. You could also call us. You could also come into the branch, but you can now do it through our digital banking capabilities. Then that makes it, again, for those members interested, easier to do business with us. We also, improved the notifications on debit and credit cards, and we made it easier to enroll Nuvision cards, debit and credit cards, in digital wallets. So whether it's an Apple Wallet or Google Wallet, whatever it may be, that was another opportunity. We had members calling us because they had trouble enrolling in Wallet, and our team really did a great job working on that to make it easier, so they wouldn't have to call. It would just work in at least in more cases than it was happening otherwise. So there's always an element of security. We need to be careful. We want to make sure it's really you doing these things. So there's always an element of security. But again, the thrust of all of our efforts is, how do we make it easier to do business with Nuvision? How do we make it easy for members to do what they want to do when they want to do it? And we've made some good progress this year. Now, some of the things that are coming still is enhanced digital authentication when opening an account. We have more to do there, and I was talking about keeping things safe. There are some advanced tools out there that we're taking advantage of. That will be rolled out this year. We have alerts on accounts, right now available to members, but they're not real time. It's not as they happen. There's a bit of a lag time. So we are rolling out this year. It's coming. It'll be before the end of the year. Real-time alerts, so members can see what's happening via alerts in the moment. So we think that's an important capability. And I talked about some of the investments and actions we're taking to improve the contact center experience, but we're also adding additional tools, automated chat 24/7, improved email response times, text messaging as well. So we're excited to roll these out. And I mentioned some of these last year that we started in 2024. In 2025, this week we're opening up our Mesa Longboat branch, our first public available branch in Arizona. Our members have been asking for, so we started building last year, broke ground. We're opening it this week to members. Our Carson branch was relocated this year, and we relocated in this is Carson, California, for those who don't know maybe where Carson is. And then in Anchorage, Alaska, the Abbott branch, I mentioned in my highlights around 2024 that we were starting to work. Basically, that was a small in-store branch, like inside a grocery store, I think under 400 square feet, and the branch had done great business, and we had a good problem. We had more business to do than we had room to do it. So we were able to establish a brand new freestanding building branch with more space inside the branch and drive-up capability. So we just did a grand opening for that, I think 2 weeks ago, somewhere around that. So we're really excited about that. So that's all the things some of the things that completed on the branch side and some of those coming soon items. To wrap it up, I just want to again say thanks. All these results that I mentioned, they don't happen without great leadership and great support. Our board of directors, all of our board officials and their families. Our board serves as volunteers, and their whole intent is to make sure we're serving our member owners and really looking toward the future to make sure we can be there for them, for the next 90 years. So just can't appreciate and say enough about our board officials who everything we do we could not do without them. Our executive leadership team are so many of our leaders who really make the credit union work for our members every day. And that's it. When you need help and the people who make it work, that's individual contributors, and I call it our teamwork superpower. I'm just really proud of our team of roughly 600 team members and what they do. We're not perfect, but I can tell you they strive really hard and they've got really big hearts. And they really care about our members. And I've seen so many member testimonials about how that shows up and how members see that and feel that as well. And again, to our Nuvision members, thank you for your support. We know you've got lots of choices, and we continue to appreciate your trust and commitment to us. It allows us to continue to grow and enhance our services, and we just appreciate your membership and your support. So that concludes my report, and I just want to remind you before I turn it over to Doug Haig, our Supervisory Committee Chair, that at the end of the business portion of the meeting, I'll come back up and see if there's any questions that myself or others might be able to help answer, both in the room and on Zoom. So look forward to that in just a little bit. With that, my pleasure to introduce Doug Haig.
Thank you, Roger. The Supervisory Committee is responsible for ensuring that the credit union meets required financial reporting objectives and establishes practices and procedures sufficient to safeguard members' assets. These objectives are achieved in part through internal audits, which are performed by the national accounting firms Crowe and RSM, regular compliance reviews, which are completed by the national accounting firm Clifton, Larson, and Allen. We also get annual examinations by the National Credit Union Administration, our principal regulator. And most importantly, an independent audit is conducted of the financial statements of Nuvision Federal Credit Union. The 2024 financial statements were audited by RSM, and Nuvision received an unqualified opinion, which is the highest possible. In conclusion, next slide, please. In conclusion, the Supervisory Committee is pleased to report Nuvision Credit Union has been operated in a safe and responsible manner, and it has maintained a strong financial position during 2024. And before I hand the podium back to Chair Ted Humphrey, I'd like to thank my fellow Supervisory Committee members, Karen Sudica and Matt Woodruff, for their commitment to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you for the great work that the Supervisory Committee has been doing. Now is the time for us to examine old and new business. But as there is no unfinished business, and as there is no noticed new business, we turn to elections. So for the elections, I would like to introduce Sonia Strota, who is the chair of the nominating committee.
Thank you, Ted. There were 3 positions available for 3-year terms, and after careful consideration, the nominating committee put forth John Cullum, Doug Haig, and Brian Hickey. Having run unopposed and with no nominations received via petition, the 3 candidates will move forward to assume their terms. Back to Chair Humphrey.
At this point, I'm honored to give a thanks to Yuri Nakagawa, who served as a board director and has retired, and Robert Gerasi, who served as a board chair, director, and just a wonderful leader and mentor to all of us. And so I really, really, really thank both Yuri and Robert. But at this point, I also want to thank the members who have followed this meeting in person or online. And we are now at the point where I would like to recommend a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved to end the meeting. Woodruff.
Woodruff?
I'll second the motion. Michael Donahue.
Woodruff and Donahue. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. At this point, Roger and his team will be available to examine some of the questions and answers.
All right, just bring my tablet up so I can see if there's questions online. Actually, let me get one report. So again, just as a reminder, if anyone participating online would like to submit a question, I see a few in the queue, but there is that Q&A icon on the Zoom screen. You can just click on that and type in a question, and then I should be able to see it up here on the tablet. So with that, are there any questions in the room from any members? I do see a couple questions, or I guess a few, that I'm hoping Brian might be able to help me with. You all should have had access to the annual report, and so I'm going to read them aloud so that you can so everyone can know what the question is, especially Brian. Why did cash, and I think this is a reference in the back of our annual report, we have a comparison between 2024 and 2023. So why did cash decrease from $357 million to only $189 million? I'm hoping Brian can help with that.
Well, thank you, Roger, and thanks whoever asked that question. Yeah, it's a good question. And during the 2023 year, we did participate in a program that allowed us to borrow from the Federal Reserve at a favorable interest rate. And it allows us to build up our cash position in case our deposits were decline as the rate environment moved up. So we did participate in that and held extra cash for a couple of years. And so that program sunset, we didn't see any kind of runoff in our share accounts, and so we just allowed that cash to be paid back. Essentially, is what the answer is there. So we're now kind of back to a more normal operating position.
Great, thank you, Brian. Another question, which I think I can answer, and then I'll look to Brian to see if he has any corrections, is why did several other categories of assets and liabilities increase so much during the year? And again, this is a comparison between 2023 and 2024. In 2024, we completed two other mergers, through merger partnerships with Paradise Valley and Cooperative Center. So I don't know, that's roughly, I think, somewhere close to $200 million worth of assets that were added, and then different categories of loans and deposits, all that. So I think that's the primary reason, but I'm looking to Brian. He's the real numbers person. Is that right, or would you add anything, Brian?
That is exactly right. We did have a little bit of organic growth in some of those numbers as well, which is normal, but the primary reason were those two mergers that we added to the balance sheet.
Great, thanks, Brian. Another question is, why did interest income increase by $31 million and interest expense increase by $21 million?
Another good question. So the primary reason there is simply the increase of assets. So we did, well, there's two answers. The assets increased because of the mergers, so we ultimately have more interest income that we earn and more, dividend expense that we pay. But secondarily, the rate environment has been higher more recently. So a lot of our, lower rate loans were paying off in 24, and new loans that were coming on at higher rates, earn more interest, and so therefore that's why we have earned more additional income there as well.
Great, thank you, Brian. That is all. Let me make sure. Yeah, making sure there's nothing new came in, but nope, it looks like I got them all. Just do a quick refresh. Any other, just last calls? You think about maybe you have questions in the room. I do want to acknowledge our team who set up this annual meeting. I don't know that on everyone, but I know Nicole here, and Crystal, and Philip, and probably many others, did a lot of work to prep. Certainly our the individuals on our board who gave reports also, helped with the presentations. And so just really want to thank everyone who contributed. I missed anyone, Nicole, who was the key folks? Yeah, so thank you. Thank you all for all your work to set up this meeting and make it remotely available as well. So we do have members in many different states, so we appreciate, want to have the opportunity for them to also be engaged. So I'll ask one more time, any questions in the room? I'll check one more time. So with that, again, thank you for attending your annual meeting. Thank you for helping us celebrate our 90th anniversary. And that concludes this event. And thank you for your attendance. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you all.